Welcome to Visionaries Global Media, your #1 source for podcasting entertainment. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.
Band from Ringside.
Tonight on the Band from Ringside podcast, your king and queen of the ring recap, your AEW Double or Nothing recap. A new Forbidden Door opens in between TNA and NXT, maybe that, and a whole bunch more tonight on the Band from Ringside podcast. Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Mark. So welcome to the Band from Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Carl Anthony Towns. And sitting directly across from me, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
We do it big pimpin' up in NYC. It's just that Vice, Zach, Big Bill, and JCB, nigga. And on that lovely note, I'll ask the congregation to bow their heads as I read from the latest edition of the Band from Ringside podcast, volume 361, chapter 3, verse 14. And the good smart saith, hashtag boo the heels. It's all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat. The holy trinity of BFR. Your boy's been dragging all day. I just got myself a little hyped up just saying that shit. Let's kick it over to our boy 3 Beer on that west side.
And out there in Portland, Oregon, we have 3 Beer. Zach Pullman, what's going on? 3 Beer, Zach.
Beer for Weston House.
Oh, man. Yeah, so Trump's a convicted felon. The Department of Justice is going after Vince. And I'm too hungover to celebrate.
And sitting directly to my right, we have Bogey's a.k.a. Vice. What's going on, Vice?
Hey, tonight's going to be Jack Perry. You know why?
How's that?
It's going to be lit.
We are coming at you from beautiful St. Charles, Missouri. It's the best night of the year here. This is just absolutely perfect. We got 2 pay-per-views. We had a very newsworthy NXT. I texted the boys about it the other night when I was watching it the next morning. No time like the present. Let's get it started. Let's get to that 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
JCB, kick it off.
Let's do that shit chronologically. Saturday morning or afternoon, wherever you were in this great world of ours, we were doing a little king and queen of the ring tournament action. Obviously, you had Gunther, Randy Orton in the men's final, Nia Jax and Lyra Valkyria in the women's final, and we sprinkled some matches around it. The dark match obviously set up fairly quickly, but set up nonetheless. You had Jade and Bianca Belair defeat Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. To me, obviously the chance we're going to retain. The knee injury of Bianca Belair is the walking story of this match. If analyze it however you want to, the knee is what we need to know. It's not an actual knee injury. Obviously, this is kayfabe style. But that being said, this is going to be something to circle as the progression of Bianca and Jay go forward. You guys want to jump in? You can jump in.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You didn't see this?
No.
Okay, never mind. Fuck it.
Was it on a pre-show or something?
Yeah, it was just before the actual pay-per-view started.
I was like, did Jason slip into the future? Is he talking about next year's King of the Ring?
No, man. This was like at 11:30 our time.
Old Biff handing young Biff the almanac?
I didn't. Lots of Back to the Future 2 jokes around here lately. No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I only watched the main.
That's my favorite genre of joke.
Well, fuck it. Let's jump to the main card. The curtain jerker, the upset of the weekend, I would say, called by one Zachary Pullman. Credit to Zach. He had the balls that other of us didn't. Liv Morgan defeats Becky Lynch in a controversial finish. Myself and Bill were kind of arguing on the text thread about it, about how this was going to be not how the finish was, but is this the finish that Rhea Ripley was supposed to be in if Rhea Ripley was supposed to stay healthy? So obviously Dom slides the chair in the middle of the ring, and once he did that, I was like, that's some circumstantial shit right there. It could go either way. So obviously you had I believe it was a DDT under the chair to finish the match. So that, at least for me, left it in doubt. In my opinion, I'm not saying that we weren't going to get to Liv converts Dom. I just don't think we'd have gotten there this quickly. Even if Rhea Ripley was healthy and she was in this match, I don't think this is the result. Rhea would have gotten somebody else beforehand, and then we get to Liv, and Liv starts her magic, dark magic on Dom.
Zach, what do you think about this match?
It was fine. It wasn't anything particularly special. Maybe I was just distracted by Becky's outfit. She looked like Kid Usher at the Met Gala.
Dude, that was a choice. I was like, what the fuck is she wearing? And look, I get it. You got to be covered. Fair. That was still a choice.
Hey,
go ahead.
Everybody's got a type.
That ain't mine.
Everybody's got a type.
God bless you, Seth.
Yeah, not the best or worst title match I've ever seen, but it was like, I was folding laundry and wasn't too distracted from the laundry.
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
I'll try to sprinkle a little bit more analysis on this. I don't have much more analysis to say other than what Zach said. I will say this. This is what I was saying via text thread for those of you that aren't privy to it. So
yeah, right.
This seemed to me, so when Edge got hurt at WrestleMania, I want to say 31, maybe 30, something like that, when he had the opening match against Alberto Del Rio, and then he eventually has to retire. And so Christian, eventually Randy Orton gets the belt on him.
Correct.
And him and Christian have this long feud. It's weird.
One more match.
It was the one more match, Christian, where he was kind of like a deluded, jaded veteran, 13 years ago. Where he's, it's pretty funny to think about. He was probably 35 years old.
Right.
But he
Some of his best work right there, too.
He won. Christian wins the title off of Orton on a SmackDown, I believe, and loses it on the pay-per-view the very next weekend. And he was just completely heartbroken by it. And what they did was, it came out later that that was the whole story for Edge and Christian. Christian was going to win it off Edge, and then Edge was going to win it off Christian, and they were going to go to SummerSlam with Edge and Christian feuding. They had this whole thing laid out. Obviously, it gets upturned because Edge has his neck injury, and they just slid Randy Orton into the booking of it. I'm just trying to explain for those that don't know what I'm talking about. And so that kind of thing happens, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. No. Like, I think if they have a story that they like, they might as well do it. All I was saying, and I'm completely fine with Liv Morgan winning the title off of Becky Lynch. I think that Liv Morgan is actually kind of a more exciting choice to have the title right now than Becky Lynch.
Agreed.
Becky Lynch, been there, done that. Let's see some fresh blood, especially while the product is hot. So I'm cool with that. What I didn't, all I was saying was this would be much more interesting if Dom was trying to help out Rhea and fucked it up for Rhea, and then Becky won the title over Rhea. It seemed to me like they were trying to do something like that, but they did it to where where switch Becky for Rhea out, not Liv for Rhea. You see what I'm saying? So if Rhea has the title, Dom comes out there to try to help Rhea Ripley, but he ends up helping Liv Morgan. That's a more interesting twist in the booking. The way they did it is fine. I don't know why they're trying to make it look like Dom doesn't want to be with Liv if the story is that he wants to. Like Joey O'Farrell on our text thread was like, yeah, it's a work, dude. It's like, okay, but who are they working? Like, are they trying to work? Are they working I don't really understand why that. Why not just have Dom turn? That doesn't make any sense to me, but it might just be a difference of opinion with the way that they're doing it. I don't know if that makes any sense. Does that make any sense, Jason?
It does. I would just say this. The fact that we had 40 million people as of Tuesday downloaded, not even downloading, but, looking at the kiss between Liv and Dom, I guess you can say that they made the right call. All I will say is this. about the finish of that match. I don't want Dom to turn right now. I need Rhea to come back. I need Rhea to come back healthy and pissed.
And maybe that is the wrinkle in it that they're adding to it, because it's not Rhea and because it was Becky and Liv, which is okay, fine. Pivot. Okay. They're doing a great job.
Yeah,
you know
that's the other thing I was going to say.
And you know what? The most important thing is, at least there's a story.
Yeah.
At least they're not fucking around with it.
No.
At least they're telling me a story, and I do want to see what happens next. Right, Zach?
Yeah, I'm intrigued, even if it is just to satisfy my own curiosity and confusion, because I felt the same way as you as far as, like, why is it looking like an accident if ultimately it's not supposed to? But I didn't watch the kiss, but it wasn't like it was like she kissed him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I keep hearing about this kiss. It didn't happen on television, right?
So supposedly, I didn't watch Raw on Monday Night Live, but I watched it obviously on a replay or whatever the case may be. And the feed literally stops as they're both outside of the ring, and Liv looks over at Dom, and Dom looks pissed, and Liv looks at Dom. And then that's when the national feed cuts off. So you had to go to like YouTube or X or something along those lines, something social media, to where you could see the finish of that match, post-match. And then Liv walks up to Dom, grabs him by the neck, and kisses him. Okay? Dom's not kissing her back. So at this point, now, like I said beforehand, the chair in the middle of the ring is circumstantial evidence. It could be that he is ultimately helping Liv, and that's what I think is going to happen. But the real big heat doesn't happen until Rhea comes back and we get the title on the line.
Do we think that Dom is trying to work Rhea in
Not now, he's not.
Not now, he's not?
No.
Okay.
He's slowly going to be converted over to Liv Morgan's side. Liv Morgan will replace Rhea Ripley in Judgment Day. Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley will both be ousted in some form or fashion, so that way they can be singles competitors, because they've outgrown Judgment Day. Okay, let's just call it for what it is. They've outgrown it.
Yeah, Judgment Day is on
but
fumes.
You can still
I mean,
do
in
it.
kayfabe, they're on fumes, but they've been on fumes for a long time.
You can still do Judgment Day. Now you just put new heat and a fresh woman's face in the front. Finn Balor being, I guess, for lack of a better term, he'll be the front man on the men's side, and Dom and JD as the wingmen.
All right, what was next?
The Bill Veggie special triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. You had Big Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn. One of the big pops, obviously, for the night, Sami Zayn getting a tremendous ovation. It almost gave me like literal goosebumps watching him come out the ring, the vignette beforehand, and them coming out to the ring. And then, obviously, this match didn't disappoint. I was almost convinced that Bronson Reed was going to win this for 30 seconds, and then, obviously, he ended up going out to the outside, getting taken out by Otis. Otis, once again, being a central figure point of this storyline in this match. And then, obviously, going forward, he has the crowd literally in his hands. The big moment is when Otis finally decides he's just going to say, fuck Chad Gable, and go on his separate ways. Obviously, it didn't really happen here. He knocked down Bronson Reed on the outside, but wouldn't knock down Sami Zayn on the outside, which ultimately cost Chad Gable the match. Sami Zayn retains. I thought this is a really good triple threat. It's one of those matches where all three guys are talented. You had them do the moonsault by Bronson Reed. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, how he's not even booked consistently just boggles my mind sometimes. I'm not asking him to be the world champion. I'm just asking them to be booked like a consistent, strong heel. That's really it. Chad Gable, his being booked strongly like this. Can we not get something of the same thing with Bronson Reed? Neither here nor there. Obviously, Chad Gable and Sami Zayn are going to get some rematch down the line, but I thought this was a nice little, not want to say bounce back, but a nice little match after the curtain jerker.
What do you think of it, Zach?
Yeah, it was a fun match. This is like when I really started to get into the show. And it was really cool to see Sami Zayn. You know, this is not his first time there, but they showed images. I think from the first time there, like where he went to Mecca and all that. Definitely not going over there to lose. I wasn't surprised at the finish, but they did a lot of fun spots and good three-way. I mean, all three of these guys are really fun workers, and I like the teasing of the Otis turn and turning him into a baby face. I think that's going to get a big reaction. I don't know what his ceiling is, but I do know that people really like him. He's got a lot of charisma, and they're really drawing that out, which, they got 5 hours of TV every week, so
yeah, this was a cool match. They probably didn't want to do too much with so much left, but it was a very enjoyable 13 minutes or so. My only issue would be I really like the double suplex spot from Chad Gable. My only issue was that Bronson Reed had to sell for so long, and he was still selling after all the Otis stuff, and then the Huluva kick. He still was selling when he took the Huluva kick from Sammy. Yeah, I picked Bronson Reed. I noticed that Jason gave Zach a lot of credit for picking Liv and having the balls to pick Liv. I had the balls to pick Bronson Reed.
We all had balls on the table. Only one of us got the dub out of this. That's why I gave him credit.
Yeah, more to say about that with Double or Nothing. But I really enjoyed this match.
Okay, I guess we're good here. Yeah,
I'm good.
Perfect. Next up, you had the first of the two Queen or the King of the Ring / Queen of the Ring tournament matches. This first match was the Queen of the Ring tournament match, Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax. Obviously, this was I won't say one-sided, but it definitely felt like this was Lyra Valkyria running uphill and her doing what she could against the bigger, stronger opponent, which she did look good in spots, but it just looking at these two, you knew how this was going to end. It was just how we were going to get to that point. The finish, obviously, with Nia jumping on Lyra Valkyria's chest did look a little I won't say sus, but just a little rough. A little rough. I'll go with the word rough on this one, but
I'll say hot.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's a word too. Neither here nor there.
Everybody's got a type.
Yeah, for sure. Nia Jax finally wins what I would consider a fairly big win for Nia Jax in her short career. Good win for Nia. I've said since she's come back that she needed to get some sort of push. This is at least some sort of push. It's not the world championship, but it's better than what she's been getting in the past. Lyra Valkyria loses nothing out of this. Actually, I think she's a long-term winner out of this because as someone that's just been brought up to the main roster, it's basically Triple H giving you the indication this is someone to watch, even though she didn't win the tournament. But neither here nor there. Like I said, for me, Nia Jax winning the tournament makes absolute sense. Her and Bayley had some beef before Bayley won the title at WrestleMania, so now we're just going to revisit.
Yeah, what you think, Zach?
Yeah, no big surprise here, but it was cool. Like Jason said, Lyra Valkyria won just by getting to the show here, and she had that surprise upset against Io Sky, which propelled her to the finals. So good showing. You're in there with Nia Jax. I did feel bad for that, and also like for the spot that Jason mentioned, it looked like she fucking killed her. So he does that occasionally. And
occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Zach said, like Zach said last week, they're doing the NXT people right, and Lyra Valkyria is a good example of that because they brought her up to the main roster and they immediately made her a star with this. She got the rub. Nia Jax was probably the person that should win this because Nia Jax versus Bayley will be a big SummerSlam match if that's what we end up getting, and it'll be a good win for Bayley. You can mark it down right here. That's my Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock. I know, I'm just fucking around. But
my face is over like, damn. This motherfucker calling it out months in
We
advance.
was looking at each other like he was about to tell the future.
It's like, bam, motherfucker.
Give me them lottery numbers.
Well booked all around, though.
I would say that's a SummerSlam lock, motherfucker. Ain't even in August. Next up, you had the men's King of the Ring tournament final, Gunther versus Randy Orton. Just a quick side note, I just wanted to talk about this was one of the times, obviously, when Sami Zayn came out, but when Randy Orton was serenaded to the ring by Saudi. I'm not sure if Saudi had more people or less than France, but France was just, it felt like they were more into it, which made the card feel bigger. It just elevated it a little more. Don't get me wrong, Saudi was doing their due.
Well, yeah, but under Saudi law, if you cheer louder than Mohammed bin Salam, they cut off one of your hands. So,
fair. Okay. That's okay. Then that makes all the sense in the world. Gunther versus Randy.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
And they make sure it's the one that you jack off with.
He's heating up.
It's so good.
Gunther versus Randy Orton for the King of the Ring tournament final. This was one of the two matches. Obviously, I'll speak for myself. I was looking forward to, and it did not disappoint. Even the finish was okay. I guess I'm gonna have to let this slide, but they immediately made repercussions of this, and not repercussions. They
owned it.
They owned it and made up for it fairly quickly. And neither here nor there. We'll talk about that in a second. Gunther having this submission, I thought really was one of these matches that stood out because Randy had the I guess it was the knee or whatever that it was his left knee that he had banged up coming into the match. Obviously, that was from SmackDown from the night before. And then leading into this match, it was basically the target. So I was sitting there thinking to myself, how is Gunther going to get into this point where he can get into the knee and try to tap Randy out? This is how good both guys are in this scenario. Gunther is so good. At one point, he basically rolled out of a Boston Crab, reversed it, and then got into like a knee bar, and then like moments later, he's jumping off of the fucking top rope. And Randy's just basically, the physical, just, I guess, equal, tall, not as big as Gunther, but just basically as tall. So now you have somebody that looks like he's equal to Gunther, and that's very rare. Randy's taking those shots like nobody's business. So for me, both guys I thought looked really, really good coming out of this bad boy. To me, like I said, Gunther winning, not really a big surprise. The finish was just one of those times like, son of a bitch. I wish this shit wouldn't have happened. I wish the ref would have, made it audible, but neither here nor there. Everything up to that point was what I expected, and then some. Randy putting Gunther over. To me, it's going to happen again over whatever. What is that in Glasgow? Is that Clash of the Castle?
Yes.
It's going to happen again. So we're just going to put the cherry on top. We'll probably do some more crazy shit, but I thought this was just as good enough for me. The next go around, which, like I said, would just reinforce it all.
What you think, Zach?
Yeah, this match is awesome. Randy Orton is awesome, and Gunther is awesome. I had picked Randy Orton because of the eventual outcome that I thought would be a bigger match, but then Gunther is not challenging Cody. He's going to go and challenge, Damian Priest or maybe Drew. Almost said Drew Barrymore. Damn it. No, I can't think it was Drew McIntyre.
Freudian slip.
I just thought it was like Gunther just chopping up. Anyway, Randy Orton probably could have been like, hey, don't chop me. But he took him, and that match ended up being real good. Like we expected, but this was very solid.
Shame on me. This kind of outshone my expectations. I knew that, like, intellectually, I was imagining it to be good. I knew it was going to be good, but Gunther, I really don't get excited for Randy Orton matches if I'm telling the truth. If I'm just laying it all out here on the table, guys.
You are not a big Randy Orton guy.
No, and so like I said, shame on me. This was my favorite match, and the next match would have been close, but I really didn't like the interference finish with the. Anyway, we can talk about that then. But Gunther Randy Orton was exactly what I wanted it to be. We live in the era of hating refs. People hate refs now more than they've ever hated refs. And I think I like that Triple H or the WWE, I think it was WWE or maybe Triple H from his personal was like, hey, we saw that one of his shoulders was up during the pin, but the referee's decision is final, and we stand by it, and Gunther is your champion. I like that they did that, because it is wrestling. They are trying to present it more as a sport. They're trying to, if anything, they're trying to pull it and UFC probably a little bit closer to each other.
Agreed. With
press conferences and weigh-ins and shit like this. So yeah, I thought this match ruled. My favorite match. I watched it again when Steve came over the next day to pick up his dog, and he was like, "Have you watched it?" I was like, "Yeah, but I'll watch it again." And we watched it again, and it was really good again. So,
I think it's fair to not get excited about Randy Orton matches because he's a really good wrestler technically. But I mean, if you were just like name the best Randy Orton match you ever saw, I couldn't. They don't stand out. Does that make sense? I'd be like, I don't know. He's good in every match.
It makes complete sense. I'd say that my favorite Randy Orton match was probably Randy Orton, Bryan Danielson at SummerSlam that one year. Or wait, did Orton come in and cash in on him? I don't know. It's tough to remember. Don't fact check that. What's next, Jason?
I want to say Orton cashed in, and then we erupted. Danielson was in that match. I just can't remember who.
Hey, to anybody that fact checks that and tries to check me on it and decides to send me a tweet or Facebook or a text.
Shut up, bitches.
Bill's been running a lot lately, so now we're seeing how fast he can backpedal.
Hey, Bo.
Shut up, bitches.
That motherfucker is going to have a life of its own. One of turn might have just been usurped. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Main event time, Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed title. Like I said last week, I had high expectations. I thought they, for the most part, were pretty much met. I don't necessarily think that Logan Paul is going to be a champion at any point, but every time I look up, he's in a high-profile match, and every time I look up, he does something that makes me think, you know what?
He's the mailman.
He delivers. He's going to be champ one of these goddamn days, man. I swear to God. We could see the in-ring athleticism, the ability. It's not even that, at least for me. The character is where, especially in WWE, I think you need to have to really ascend to that next level. I know people have been kind of down on Cody's run so far. I've been hearing some rumblings about Swerve. We can talk about that and compare and contrast that at some point because I'm going to ask you guys, so just be ready upon that.
This month's Logan Paul dick sucking session is brought to you by JJ Twigs. JJ Twigs, everybody. Down on Southampton, just 3 blocks south of Eichelberger.
My neck of the woods now. No, I have no problem with it, man. Look.
No, I know we're gonna suck his dick for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so Zach,
go please
start sucking.
You know who's dick I want
Zach,
to suck?
all the way out there from Portland, grab some balls.
Do the reach around with 3 beers Zach. Now the dick that I want to suck is the dick of whatever drone cameraman operator or whoever, that whenever Logan Paul got to the top rope to jump and do his frog splash on Cody outside the announce table, they did like a full 360 degree around him before they did it. It looked like a goddamn video game. And like he jumped right whenever they got done with like the full circle. Yeah, this match was really fun. No surprise. But yeah, just absolutely just a blast to watch. And it was a good long match.
Yeah, I mean, it's handicapped by there being really no drama in who's going to win. That being said, they tried really hard. Logan Paul is, here I go. I'm down on my knees. All right? I'm looking up at him. I'm telling him, listen, man.
Logan Paul has a hold of Bill's ears right now.
Oh, no.
I'm saying, Logan Paul, it's his athleticism. It's the character. It is the selling. Like, the guy just gets it. He is a fish to water. Is that the saying? He is as good as Kurt Angle was this far into his run. I mean, maybe Kurt Angle probably wrestled a lot more matches, probably worked house shows. That is how much you can't be. What I'm saying is they're both tied for first now. They are the most impressive. I didn't used to do this, and now I do this now, and now I am as good as, like, I'm the cream of the crop. That's how good he is.
I never thought Kurt Angle until you said it, but this is eerily reminiscent
of the
Kurt
Angle freak.
Yeah.
That's coming from the biggest Kurt Angle fan you know. I mean, it's true.
I mean,
I got him on my Mount Rushmore. I'm like the only one that says that shit.
This is speak on it, man. You got a fucking mic. Say shit. No,
I don't need to say he's wrong out loud. I've been saying it the same amount of fucking time.
I'll just say this. Now that you said Kurt Angle, this Logan Paul run is kind of reminiscent of Kurt Angle. He won King of the Ring. Obviously, we saw that. He won, I think it was the Intercontinental Championship, if I'm not mistaken. Then, obviously, he beat Rock to win the title. So, I mean, you can...
And the shit that he's good at is what he does to be a heel. Like, he just plays his natural character. Kurt Angle was just playing the goody two-shoes Olympian, who never drank and never cursed and had the integrity. He just leaned into what he really was. And I know that seems like wrestling 101, but they can also go.
This is true, and I think that's to me the biggest takeaway from it is that Logan Paul,
Logan Paul dream match
can just go. If we can get a time machine, yes, I would totally do that shit.
2001 Kurt Angle versus 2024 Logan Paul. Come on. Who's saying no?
Oof. Okay, so let's talk about the finish, because to me the finish is something that we all kind of I shouldn't say we all. I wasn't a big downer on Roman Reigns finishes that had outside interference, because to me that's the Roman Reigns part of it. You knew that there was going to be some fuckery coming around. This was unexpected fuckery, at least in my head, when you had I can't even think of what the ring announcer's name was.
Dude, I would have been mad at you if you would have busted out the ring announcer's name correctly.
No, I was getting ready to say I'm good. I'm not that goddamn good.
What the fuck?
It's Ibrahim something. I remember his name. To ask me to pronounce
this is just getting racist. Ibrahim or Muhammad or something.
Now we're all uncomfortable. Thank you,
say welcome to our world.
making all the white people uncomfortable here.
That to me, I think, was the down part of this match, because it took the ring commentator or the ring announcer to save Cody Rhodes. He's the biggest baby face in the goddamn company. Nobody from the back can come out. I mean, if you're going to go that route.
But we know why it was. It was because the guy's a hometown guy.
I know. Fine. I get that part. I don't even want that to be. Cody Rhodes should be above reproach. If we're going to go away from Roman Reigns, then go the fuck away from Roman Reigns. Go the far away from Roman Reigns as humanly possible.
I think that's kind of part of his character that he's not above reproach, though, right? Zach, what'd you think of the ending?
I didn't mind it. At the end of the day, this is a Saudi show. Like, they're better than they used to be, but these things started out as like house shows, and that celebrity ring announcer guy getting involved is
when he's fucking right, he's right. God damn it. I was giving it too much credit.
Crown Jewel is like the bigger quote unquote show. This is the first time. Called? King and Queen of the Ring.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I mean, Crown Jewel is like their show. So I'm a whole. I get what he's saying.
So this is their SummerSlam.
Essentially, I guess. I mean, I get what Zach is saying.
Right, because Crown Jewel's when they always bust out Goldberg, and you know that's the big
show. So, not saying that Zach's wrong. He's right. It is a Saudi show, so
I mean, they always bring back silly shit, like Gangrel.
Ooh. Hey, man, don't steal my thunder, motherfucker.
I got some thoughts.
Tell him right now. Tell him right now.
Ain't shit.
Any other thoughts on Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul?
No, I thought it was the second best match of the night, honestly. I thought it stood up to be a really good main event, but I thought Randy and Gunther was better.
I'll go first here when I'm grading the pay-per-view. To me, this is like a C+, but because it was during the middle of the day, you bump it up. B+. What do you got, Jason? Grade that shit.
You grade that motherfucker on the curve. This is all right. But good thing that motherfucker was in at the morning.
You guys don't like me grading on the curve?
Shut up, bitches.
Don't worry about it, Zach. You can laugh now. Your turn is coming up here in a little bit. I'm giving it a B. It was good, not great. It was past serviceable, but I've seen better from WWE.
Zach, what do you got?
I'm going to give it a C. Otherwise, I would bump it up for the time because I texted you guys and I'm like, man, all pay-per-views should be Saturday at 10 a.m.
No, man. No, I was scrambling to work, motherfucker.
Nah, he's right. So what we're gonna do now is let's do WWE. Let's do King and Queen of the Ring, Double or Nothing, and then we'll do NXT, and then odds and ends will be Dynamite and Raw. How's that sound?
Whatever, motherfucker. You quarterback this shit.
Whatever. Let's get to that 2 count.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you set up a podcast.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys see the sausage made.
1, 2, 3.
2 beer. What's the 2 count?
2 counts. We had AEW Double or Nothing. I was camping, so I watched this. Like Monday and Tuesday, basically. But I did watch all of the buy-in and everything. I really enjoyed those. So we had a buy-in match with Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo that I had no idea was going to happen. I don't know when that match was made. But pretty good match as far as the actual wrestling portion of it. And I feel like there was one of the most surprising finishes on the entire night was Deonna Purrazzo beating Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did Purrazzo win this? I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
God
he
damn.
did. So I don't know if we're going to
she got it done.
That is surprising.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but it was a pretty good match overall. And then there was another match which was Cage of Agony, which is just Gates of Agony plus Brian Cage.
The fuck out of here.
Yes.
Is that really what they called him?
Oh, yeah. Brian Cage named that shit. They're no longer, he's like, we're no longer the Gates of Agony. We're the Cage of Agony. He did the little knife throw across his... I was like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man.
I think he actually had his barber trim it into his sideburns.
You guys think if Gates of Agony, if they would have stayed with Swerve, if Swerve was in the trio, it'd be Swerve and our Agony?
Dude, I was going to say, hey, Swerve and Keith Lee, you guys are off the hook. We got a new worst one in town. But let me think about this. I think Swerve and Our Glory still might be worse.
Hell no.
This is new. This is new to me. I did not know that they were called Cage of Agony. That's a cool team. That's a cool team. Mm-hmm. Those 3 dudes are cool. Mm-hmm. Whew, that's a bad name. Oh my God. What's next? They're going to call themselves the Final Testament?
Get this gun away from me.
They're going to call him, this is actually the Final Testament? The real Final Testament?
No, man, we're serious this time.
Yeah.
Volume 2?
We're the last one.
2.0? 2.0.
So who did they wrestle?
They wrestled the Acclaimed Daddy Ass. And
oh, my God.
Yeah.
Tell me they won.
Yes, explain that again. It's definitely one because
No, that's the wrong team.
No, I'm talking
Dan-
about Cage of Agony. I'm like, tell me Cage of Agony won. They didn't?
Yeah,
They claimed one?
Yes, unsurprisingly, but in kayfabe, Cage of Agony would win every time. But
I mean,
I tell you what, man, it's insane. This crowd loved Billy Gunn. It's 2024. But this is, I mean, pre-show, that's where the Acclaim belongs. They're good for that. They get the crowd going. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, like, they're good for getting a crowd going.
that really sounded like you were saying it in a negative way. Like, hey guys, you're good for that.
When 7 o'clock goes around, you're good for catering from that point on.
Yeah, the minute Zach said that, I was like, try again.
It's like when it's like Zach says something to the wife, and the wife just looking at him like, no, not so much. No response, just cold, deadpan stare.
Were those the only 2 pre-show matches?
Yes.
I think so, yeah, those were but Max Caster did have a good rap. Basically, like, the whole thing was that
Now, man, don't try to make it up now. It's too late.
He didn't know the names of the Gates of Agony. It was like that. And like he had a fun promo before it too. So I was really glad I watched the pre-show. It was pretty entertaining overall, even though it was an hour and a half long with all the video packages.
Yeah.
And then the show opened. What's the best match on the show? Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay for the international title. I'm a big dumb idiot with a big butt who likes to smell his own butt and did not pick Will Ospreay, but
I love the balls.
this did not. This did not go how I thought, but the match was really good. I found myself getting worked because I was like genuinely angry about the interference, like. But it was like I'm like, oh wait, I feel like I'm just getting worked. I'm mad about this, not from like a standpoint of I don't want to see interference because like it was the first match. They're heels. I fully expected there to be interference, which is actually why I picked Roderick Strong. The only thing I did not like about the interference was whenever they did that Doomsday Device spot, and I think it was Taven or Bennett. I think it was Bennett. Runs the ropes right next to the ref and like bounces off the ropes like right next to the ref's head. The ref's supposed to like not have noticed this 250-pound man bouncing off the ropes in order to dive through and Doomsday Will Ospreay, who landed right on his face, looked incredibly scary. But that's my only criticism.
Should be, man. Damn.
So
it was wild.
This was the best match of the night. I agree. With that, I thought it was a little overbooked, and I probably wouldn't think that it was that overbooked if the entire card wasn't overbooked. Scary moment. If we all had one pick last week that was a little off the wall, that was a little non-chalky, and if we would not have all picked one different match to be non-chalky, we would have had the exact same scores. Now, we ended up with the exact same scores anyway because we all only missed one, and it was the one that each of us. But anyway, I picked Willow Nightingale against Mercedes. Jason picked Malachi Black against Edge, and Zach picked Roderick Strong against Will Ospreay. And I just want to say, I was just looking at those 3 guesses, and I was trying to determine which one was the worst one. And I think they're all tied.
I was getting ready to fall on the sword.
Terrible picks.
No, I was getting ready to fall on the sword on that one. I was getting ready to say that.
But I love it. Anyway,
we got to do that more often.
This match was a little overbooked for me. But that being said, it was everything except for all the interference. Like, I just want to see Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong just go out there and do a 20-minute clinic. You know, that's what I want out of this match. And it was that for a time, and then it ceased to be it. So that's my criticism, but I still fucking loved it.
No, I thought it was really good, too. But I'm with Zach on this one. To me, certain things were to be expected. I just didn't think that Wardlow would get caught slipping. I definitely didn't think that Yeah, literally and figuratively. But I definitely didn't think that Will Ospreay would get dropped on his head either. So, I mean, it's one of those things where when you book it like that, unfortunately certain things might happen. And, for Will Ospreay, thankfully, he did get up and got to finish the match and won the title. But I'm not that down on the interference because, I mean, that would be kind of hypocritical. I would be mad about this interference, but I'm okay with bloodline interference. When you have these kind of factions, heel factions.
Cool with the House of Torture.
No, see, that's getting a little out of hand, goddamn shit. I say, you can't even walk. These motherfuckers just jump out of no place and shit. I mean, goddamn, it's like the NXT fucking parking lot. Honestly, like I said, for me, I knew it was coming. It's just not. It's nowhere near House of Torture. This is just SOP for any heel faction, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, that NXT parking lot's bringing property values down. It's so dangerous.
That's right.
Kidnapping.
NXT parking lot's at the corner of Grand and Gravelly.
And JCB is just sitting there smoking a Newport, watching
this whole shit unfold, man.
He's like, you won't believe what's going on with these motherfuckers.
That's a St. Louis specific joke for all of our listeners that aren't from St. Louis.
Where you at, Jay? This White Castle shit.
Trust me, it's funny too. It's a funny joke. What was next?
You live in Portland, it's 82nd and Powell. I'm pretty sure. Like if I saw somebody just like masturbating with like a severed arm, like using the hand of a severed arm to like jerk off with, I'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to 7-Eleven. It'd be normal.
I'd be like, is that arm Saudi Arabian?
Yeah. Or you could just turn your TV off.
There's a choice.
just close your YouPorn insert.
Adam Cole made a surprise appearance, so he came out after the fact. I thought he was going to be involved in the match, but he was just like, I'm not even supposed to be here today, and pulled out the devil mask, and then a video, like lights went out, and everybody's like, oh yeah, and a video plays for it's obviously MJF going around like from his perspective, and it's got like the Burberry scarf on like a mannequin, and it's got like his like dog collar and like chain and everything, just a bunch of like historical like mementos from his career in AEW, and music hits. He comes out, his hair is not done. He is very tan. He's wearing a denim vest over top of a leather jacket, which was a very different look for him. And then somebody put a picture of him next to a picture of Triple H returning at MSG in like 2022, and it was like the same exact look. So that was interesting. But looked like they were going to do a hug, and MJF kicks him in the nuts, gives him a brain buster, and they end up then cuts a wicked promo, and just really reminds not just Vegas, the pay-per-view audience, but just really reminded me of why AEW is better with MJF. The guy is so good. It got me so hyped with that promo. Goes off, he's big babyface still. Talks about how he's leaving all the Better Than You Bay and kangaroo kicks and all this shit behind him. And he almost like called him like all silly and stupid, but like it was all stuff that he invented and that was like super over. Like, but he's like, I'm leaving all that super over shit behind me.
Right.
And we're doing this, and he shows off his AEW tattoo, so it's Bet on Yourself. And he's like, I'm here to stay, in case you marks hadn't figured it out already. And, just fantastic. This was like the peak of the show. If there's any criticism of the show, it's that it peaked in the first 45 minutes with this Ospreay match and then the MJF return. And it was never as good again, even though there were some highlights. I don't know what you guys think. But, yeah, what do you think of the segment? What do you think of that?
I loved the promo. Let's get that out of the way. It's great to have MJF back.
Check.
He's been missed. He's been gone for like 5 months. That's a long time with no MJF. And the product got less interesting because of it, if you ask me.
I can agree with that to a certain degree.
And I say that as an AEW sexual. But I think that this should have been the curtain jerker. I think that this should have let off the show because I thought that it kind of fucked with the pacing of the show, and it went on really long. And I was already thinking, God damn, there's all these fucking matches. I wasn't watching it live.
No, I agree with that. Just so I have it right. So this should have came before the physical match itself because there's only one match that's happened so far.
Yes, it should have
really?
been. I think it should have been the first segment. Because then you get because then the crowd and then you're going into an Ospreay match. I thought that it seemed like weird timing. It seemed like something that should have been on a Dynamite. But if they insisted on doing it on a pay-per-view, then I would have let it off. Or maybe put it more towards the middle. It was right at the beginning.
Okay.
It just seemed like weird timing to me.
Go ahead, Vice.
Dude, all I'm saying is when MJF came out, did anybody else think that was AJ Styles?
I did not. No.
He's wearing a denim hoodie. His hair's all long. I'm like, oh my God, it's AJ.
AJ.
I was like, AJ Styles? This is gonna be the shit.
Right.
I thought it was a Hornswoggle dressed up as Triple H for Halloween.
Motherfucker. See.
Standing on a stool.
Come on, man. Come on. See, you ain't supposed to be encouraging this motherfucker either. No, MJF being back it reminds me how good he is.
And when he said, "I don't need a New Japan or a Vince McMahon,"
okay, come on, man. See, come on, man. See,
that's really good.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, I was the only one probably like, come on, dude. Really? You got to kick dirt on my boys?
I'm not the first one to point this out, but the tattoo is where nobody will ever see it again. The guy wears boots to wrestle.
And yeah, for somebody that makes a lot of money now, the tattoo seems a little.
Well, it's not like
amateurish.
Oh, really?
It's not. Well, it's not like.
Does it not? I mean, have you not seen better work?
It's not like it's on his neck.
Oh, you're talking about the actual. That's good. He should have gotten it on his neck. You're saying that the tattoo art didn't look very good.
No.
Ow, I wasn't even thinking that.
No, I mean, they zoomed in on the shit. I was like, damn.
Cameraman, zoom.
Like, ugh. Okay. That's a choice.
He saw Pearson's buddy.
The promo was cool as fuck, though.
No, it just reestablishes MJF as a top guy. Like it's like he's never missed a step. Ultimately, the question is, how do you get Adam Cole and MJF into a match? This is all a prelude to it, but damn, every time you look up, one or the other of these two motherfuckers are hurt. So now we got to wrap these jokers in bubble tape, let them cut some promos, and then have the match. I mean, it's now getting to the point where health is an issue with this angle because somehow, some way, somebody's health has always kind of crippled this angle. It doesn't feel like it's rushed, but I do feel it was weird for just Adam Cole to pop out.
Now I'm thinking they put it after the match because they wanted all of Adam Cole's buddies to be hurt or indisposed of.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I love the promo. Love the promo. Promo of the year candidate.
Yeah.
It was a fucking rip-roaring babyface promo, man.
It was good. And firmly established, the feud, the direction. Like MJF is back. He's not going to be in the title picture. He'll be able to wrestle, Taven, Bennett, Roddy, Cole, right? Like, you got, a couple months of matches. Cole's not going to wrestle him right away. Maybe he'll have to go through Wardlow, get his win back over Wardlow. There's a lot of history there.
Jesus Christ.
That seems, that's what I would do. I'd put him over Wardlow in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, because now Wardlow is that guy. I'm not going to say who the other guy is. No. I'm bigger than that. See, I'm gonna let these other two jokers stomp on that motherfucker. I'm bigger than that.
MJF has been literally in the Chris Jericho learning tree. Wouldn't mind seeing an MJF Jericho promo at some point.
Okay, fair. That
Just
if you want to
just as a guest on the Learning Tree TV.
No, TV time is what it's called.
Yeah, TV time. Yeah, I was like,
TV
God
time,
damn
yeah.
it. This shit's getting out of hand.
It's so good. It's called TV time. We'll get to it.
the show peaked right here, and then we had a very fun match with the Bang Bang Gang beating Death Triangle to retain their 9 belts, and Juice Robinson returned. So there was like so much going on here. So whenever you talk about overbooking the show, I think that's a valid criticism because there were so many angles, and it's like you have TV that you have to like produce. Like they have 5 hours of TV also. Some of these angles could have been on those, but you know, they like to book like big shows. And I'm not saying Big Blue was bad. It was a really good show overall, but like you had this match, which took a while to get going just because the crowd, you know, was coming down off of the MJF return. But, you know, they got the crowd. Ended up being a really fun match. But Juice Robinson shows up, pushes Pac off the top rope. Then Jay White ends up getting the pin. So, you know, did Juice Robinson need to return today or that day? Sure, fine. But you really just had a return right before this. And it wasn't the only kind of angle kind of clogging up the television show or the pay-per-view. What do you guys think?
What you think?
I'll tend to agree with 3 Beer on this one. It just suffers. This match suffers from a bad spot. It's anything coming after MJF's return is just going to struggle. So the match itself, I think, ultimately, I thought it was good. It just, like you said, got off to a slow start just because of the placement of the match itself. I think for me, personally, selfishly, I'm glad Juice is back. Shit, can we free Jay White like a motherfucker? I mean, goddamn. I mean, all I ever ask is just push my man. Juice can now be, you know, a part of the trios, the AEW, ROH, whatever the fuck we call them, United Trios Champions. Fan. Do that shit. I think that was supposed to be for Juice Robinson anyway. So
Jay White feels like he's trending up.
What?
He does.
Okay.
I think him versus Pac.
Yeah, he looked great on Wednesday. He looked great in this. I think he's elevated the guns. I think Jay White's doing good work.
Yeah,
guys, nobody's talking about the in-ring stuff, okay?
No, I know, but I'm saying even that it even seems like he's getting more TV time than he used to. You know, he's in a one-on-one feud with Pac. It seems like we're going to get that match. Like,
talk to me when we get to that match.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think he's in a better spot than he was.
Well, he's definitely in a better
spot.
Yeah, because he was with the Acclaimed. I mean, that's not even a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
He's actually
that was fucking terrible.
It was really, really bad.
I'm sorry. To me, the worst.
Hold on. What was the name of that group? Of that faction?
The Gang Bang Gang.
The Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Oh.
I just want to hear everybody say it.
I was getting ready to say I'm not going to say that unless I'm absolutely forced to do so.
No, the beef from here on out is the Bang Bang Scissor Gang worst angle of the year. That's what it's called from here on out.
Fine. Okay. Motion passed, motherfucker. Okay. I'm begrudgingly going to pass the motion. Fine. All I'm saying is, damn, is this... I get what you guys are kind of saying, but for me, I'm always going to go back to MJF. You can't lose to MJF when he's banged up like that. He's physically down to
You're the only one that remembers that. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I bet you don't. Okay, but I do.
I'm a million Bedelia.
World's in main event, but that was like also overbooked as fuck.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that was overbooked as fuck.
They were gonna do a bait and switch and have Adam Cole, who was also injured, wrestle. Like, it was terrible. Yeah, that was.
I mean, this is just the nature of getting old, though. Like, I remember the Christian Randy Orton angle from 13 years ago, like it was fucking yesterday. You're like, Jay White versus MJF, main event, World's End. I'm like, what the fuck is World's End? I'm like a goldfish, guys. Like, I don't remember this side of the bowl by the time I got there again.
I'm not saying that the match was bad. It was clear we wanted MJF's better matches because it started like MJF can't wrestle, so now MJF like flipped it on us all and is like, I'm gonna show you guys, and it kind of got that momentum with this match. Just from the Jay White perspective, he hasn't, at least for me, my money, hasn't been really the same guy since Continental Classic. We teased it a little bit, we got him to the final, but then he lost in that triple threat match, and then now he's a trios champion. I mean, sorry, like I said, selfishly, I want more for Jay White.
What was next?
Next, we had Serena Deeb versus Toni Storm. Really good that Serena's got seniority at the Applebee's and she was able to get off on a holiday weekend just because she's been there so long.
God damn, dude, come on, man.
All the hostesses and waitresses are standing around smoking, and they think that, like, Serena Deeb is gone for the night, and they're all just sitting there talking shit about her, like, smoking their parliaments and shit. And so Serena Deeb comes around the corner and goes,
"Shut up, bitches!"
"I've worked here 10 years longer than you. I get off on Saturday nights."
And she's got a bucket of ice for the soda machine.
She went from working at one Dave & Buster's to being on the screen at every Dave & Buster's.
Oh my god.
Oh man, we're giving her a hard time, but we're not even giving her nearly as hard of a time as what the
Man, we
We're not
haven't
even nearly as hard of-
started smoking weed yet either.
Man, that is the joke of the fucking year.
That's wrong, dog.
That's the beefer. That's a beefer.
Zach
That's a
should
beefer for
we need to
sure.
give Zach his own beefer award. The Zach Beefer joke of the year. I'm in tears right now.
Yeah, but the problem with that is either going to be like really intelligent or like a cum joke.
Really?
So like, there's really
Have
only
you
two
met
categories.
this show?
or a Back to the Future 2 joke.
That's right.
About to say it's trending right now. God damn, man. Leave Serena Deeb alone. Fuck, she can wrestle. This match just was not interesting in the least because why? You know who was going to win.
Yeah.
They tried.
It was
tried.
It was a good match.
They tried.
There's no doubt it was a good match, though.
Yes.
It's objectively a good match.
If you had to watch this just in a vacuum, this was a good match. That God damn it, you knew what was going to happen, and whatever they did just didn't get me invested.
The thing is like the crowd did not care for Serena Deeb. Like she came out trying to be a babyface. Like Dr. Luther was more over than Serena Deeb.
It was. I would go this far.
He's got a lot of charisma.
It felt like Serena Deeb became the heel at a certain point in the match. Luther did shit that babyface assistants do. He's getting the crowd hyped up, trying to get Toni Storm into the match. Mm-hmm. For me, Serena Deeb was the heel coming into it. The last time that Toni Storm and Serena were in the ring, Serena hit her with a shoe. That's some Toni Storm shit, okay? So, I mean, it was basically like, Serena Deeb was, I won't say so bad, but just so uninteresting to the general public next to Toni Storm. It felt like they were like, well, fuck it. We can't get her over as a babyface against Toni. Let's flip this shit. Let's make her a temporary heel for this, the remainder of this feud and into the match and see if that worked. And for me, it was okay, but once again, you knew what was going to happen. So, I mean, yeah, it was fine, but this is the Toni Storm effect. We have now gotten to the point where Toni Storm is so fucking over that anybody next to her, or not anybody, but most people next to her are going to suffer. And the crowd, dare I say, they damn sure turned on Serena Deeb. They turned on her like it wasn't shit. So, I mean, if you're not in a Toni Storm stratosphere, the crowd might turn on your ass.
Yeah, but yeah, good match in a vacuum, and they're both really good wrestlers. But same problems that we have been talking about. After that, we had a good match that probably should have just been on Dynamite. Didn't really feel like a big pay-per-view match, even though maybe it's because we kind of had like the big grudge match first, like where they brawled all over the arena and, really kind of let it all out. And then the babyface won, and then the heel challenges them to a technical wrestling match, and that the babyface also won. So it's just interesting. But Orange Cassidy came out to the Pixies instead of Jane, so that was kind of a neat little callback to kind of more like singles guy, early Orange Cassidy. He also came out wearing darker jeans, just kind of like maybe tapping into like his dark side. Beretta had new gear, which was good because he had been wearing like his best friend's gear with just like the names crossed off, which was kind of funny, but also like he was kind of getting reinvented. So having the new gear is good, but he lost just to Orange Cassidy wins a lot of matches like this, like just a fluke like roll up. So not a big deal there, pretty typical. But Trent's super upset after this, distraught, walks away. Rocky Guerrero comes out, tries to console him or talk to him, and he pushes him away. And Renee tries to get like a microphone in his face to get some reaction, like, "Oh, Trent, you fucking lost, man. What are you gonna do?" And he's just like, "I can't do this." So anyway, I think all this could happen Wednesday because this show was very long and the wrestling was good. The story is fine. I like the story, but just didn't feel pay-per-view to me.
Of all the times to have the angle of Don Cal, of all the matches that should have had an angle, it felt like this one should have. Like, can we get, and I'm going to fast forward to Dynamite here a little bit too, but I just want to talk
we can talk about it both at the same time.
I want to talk about Orange Cassidy as a whole, which is, can this motherfucker just sell or lose just a little? Like, and when I say sell, I mean, after winning the night before our Sunday in a hard fought, like, if he's not going to lose that match, right? If they decide to book Orange Cassidy to win that match,
You talk about over Trent.
Over Trent on Sunday.
Okay.
And then he comes out on Wednesday and gets a beat down by Trent, gets blindsided by Trent and beat down, and Trent Beretta joins the Don Callis family. Then why the fuck is Orange Cassidy showing up in that gauntlet match at the end of at the end of Dynamite? Shouldn't he be hurt? This motherfucker can't stay down for fucking more than an hour. He is booked like a fucking Superman. Why is he in that last match? Why doesn't he ever lose? Why couldn't he have lost to Trent Beretta here? Why not have Trent Beretta go over and join the Callis family right there on the show if you're going to overbook everything? At least put that on the show. Like, give Trent Beretta a fucking win. And Orange Cassidy can absorb a loss. That's the funny thing about Orange Cassidy is that he never loses, but he could because of his style and because of his character. It would make sense if he lost. Am I off base, Jason?
I won't say off base. I agree with certain points. I kind of disagree with other points. I think the biggest thing you're talking about him selling, I think the run with him being the international champion, that was all selling. It was basically the story of him breaking down in front of us and ultimately losing the title.
Selling by, like, staying off of camera sometimes. Like, I just don't understand why he was in that last gauntlet match and why he's taking the pin. Like, it just does. Why is he even in that match? Why can't Trent Beretta win here?
Why did Will Ospreay win that match? I mean, there's questions around the board with that. I mean, I get what you're saying. Just for Orange Cassidy's sake, I agree with what Zach's saying. I'm going to take pieces of this, and this is what they should have did.
Right.
Zach is right that the babyface should have won the match that the heel should have won. The heel should have won the straight-up match on Sunday night.
That's what I'm doing a really bad job at explaining, yes.
Now, if you wanted to do the Don Callis, switch, we thought we were coming for Orange, that feels like a Dynamite angle. So somehow, some way, they switched up. They made Orange Cassidy win one too many matches.
Him maybe joining the Callis family is a bait and switch that nobody took the bait for. It's like it doesn't.
Ultimately, yes, it doesn't matter.
So like.
But
all right, well, here goes Beretta.
Yeah, you knew where we were going. It's just you had to see how we were going to get there. And Don Callis kind of, acting like he was trying to, court Orange, for lack of a better term. I didn't believe it. Obviously, nobody else really believed it. So that was kind of part of the problem. Ultimately, just because Trent is a part of the Don Callis family does not mean long-term success. I would assume somewhere, sometime, he beats Orange Cassidy.
This wasn't even on Wikipedia, so we didn't even pick it, which if we would have picked it, I probably would have picked
Orange
Beretta.
Cassidy. I would have picked Orange Cassidy. This was the time you'd had to show me.
I'm not giving you that point.
I'm not asking for the point. I'm just saying, you'd had to show me.
I did love when they beat down Orange Cassidy and Don Callis and Trent did the best friends hug that Don Callis
put his foot on him.
Orange Cassidy.
I'm like, that motherfucker ain't shit. And then started kicking him and hurt his foot. I was like, dude, I'm dead right now. That's the Don Callis I love. Now the group as a whole needs to be elevated. Otherwise, what's the point of Trent joining the group?
What's next?
And he does it all without wearing socks.
Yeah, I know. He does not wear socks.
He never wears socks.
I really liked his shoes the other night, too.
Yeah, they were
shiny, motherfucker.
Good-looking shoes.
You would definitely recognize those shoes behind the divider of a urinal. But,
again.
Right?
Yeah. Chris Jericho, Hook, Shibata, FTW title, FTW rules. This was, just kind of a, Justin Roberts called the Anarchy in the Arena a shit show. This is also kind of a shit show.
For the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Kind of one of the funniest bits that made this unique was Jericho pulled out a bag and, you expect thumbtacks or something because it's a no DQ match, kind of a hardcore style match, and it ends up being dice, which is pretty creative. It's 2-0 there in Vegas. Also, dice seemed like they would suck to take bumps on. These guys took a lot of bumps on dice. Lots of suplexes, including like a very high angle double suplex that Jericho landed like right on his fucking neck. That looked terrible. But Big Bill showed up, which we expected to because it's the no rules match. So, of course, Jericho's heater is going to show up. But he ended up going through a goddamn table. And I swear, like, if he would have just been a little bit to one side, I think the table legs would have impaled him. And it was very scary.
Lucky.
They were close.
That was the scariest thing of this match. But, yeah,
it's just
this was fine. It was just kind of, like, you want to have some kind of variety on the show, but we were already going to get the hardcore Eric in the arena. This could have been on TV also.
This was superfluous. This could have been, a main event on a Dynamite or something. I know that the bounty hunter Brian Keith was listening to the pod last week, and he decided to say to Bill, JCB, and Two Beer Zach,
"Shut up, bitches."
For the record, okay, I wasn't making fun of the motherfucker, okay? You two, however, it felt like it was a comedy skit. You said something, he said something. You said something, he said something. For the record, if we have to go back, I was defending Brian Keith up until the flamethrower part. Then I started jumping.
For the record, as somebody that wasn't here that just listened, did you laugh?
Oh, yeah.
You laughed hard as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll say this about Brian Keith, too. Pretty nice little promo on Wednesday night.
Oh, stop it.
I liked it. I liked his delivery.
Stop it.
I liked it. He's
the
good.
heater of the learning tree. That nigga there just eats
I thought he was going to be nervous. He wasn't nervous at all. That was a good promo.
He wasn't. Okay? I will give you credit for that. However,
I was rooting for him.
When that motherfucker came out to the ring and he started to attack Shibata and Hook, I'm like, son of a bitch.
I was thinking podcast. Let's pod right now.
I'm like, they just throwing old Brian Keith out there for some more random-ass jokes from these motherfuckers. I'm like, God damn.
Good for him. That's a big spot. That's a big spot for him.
Is it?
Yeah, he's the jobber du jour, man. it's at least he's got like a story now. He's with a crew.
Okay, fair enough. I guess he's just gonna be the stormtroopers in the opening segments of random Star Wars. They the first motherfuckers that just get shot.
He's gonna be in a tag team with Big Bill, and they're gonna call him the Bounty Redwoods.
Hey, you know what? We'll just see how he ricochets off this.
Stop. Leave my boy alone. Free Ricochet.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's part of a story.
Yeah, because otherwise he would just be like losing matches on Rampage. Just better.
Yeah.
He still will. It's just going to be a part of the learning tree.
No,
Don't get it twisted.
That should be Boulder's job now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty soon, like, he's like the Wheeler Yuta of the learning tree. He's, forged in combat.
No.
That actually that doesn't feel very cool.
No, he'll be forged in lumber.
So there's a line here. We're
The
drawing
line
a line.
is you can't compare him to Wheeler Yuta. Because if Wheeler Yuta and Brian Keith were in the same room together, Wheeler Yuta would be Brian Keith's little brother too. That's how you know they're not on the same level.
He'd be getting him chicken tenders and fries and shit.
When you got two little brothers, just got to figure out which one's the older one.
God damn. 361 episodes. Hey, I just got to say it. I don't think I've ever seen the line thrown out in 361 episodes. Go ahead.
John Moxley beat Takeshita, and the Moxley came in with an injured arm. I guess that happened. Did that happen on Collision? Or I didn't watch Collision. I was
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he came in with his arm all taped up, so he was doing a lot of selling. He kind of like build up some momentum, and then Takeshita would have like this very innovative offense that focused on the arm. Very good match. It was like Moxley selling for the majority of it, which he's good at. Takeshita, like I said, has innovative offense. He's this amazing athlete. Really, Mox allowing Takeshita to showcase what he can do, even though, he's going to end up losing the match because Takeshita is not going to beat Moxley while Moxley is holding this belt right before he's going to Japan to defend it at their second biggest show of the year. It's not going to happen. They're pretty much all I have to say about it. What did you guys think?
Yeah, not a whole lot of intrigue to me as to who was going to win this. The match was as good as I expected it to be. It wasn't my favorite Moxley match, not my favorite Takeshita match. There were no stakes, really. Didn't feel like there were stakes, so I was, it was cool.
AEW eliminator matches and what is it, Battle of the Belts, they just both need to go away at this point. I don't see the point in either or. Nobody really, shakes the foundation and wins one of these bad boys. This to me was an exhibition match, and it felt like as such. Don't get me wrong, Takeshita is the fucking shit, okay, and just reaffirmed what I always thought, but ultimately Takeshita is going to be a part of the road of the John Moxley story of him apparently going to be battling an arm injury throughout the rest of his IWGP title reign and ultimately dropping the title because of this arm injury. Kind of sounds like Orange Cassidy, but hey, who am I? Ultimately, who he drops the title to is what I'm more concerned with. The story being told, fair enough.
Show's going to hurt his arm against Evil, and Evil's going to win. You can call him Sholo Sokoa.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude.
This motherfucker.
Dude, what the fuck, man? That shit happens. I'm driving out here and fucking you up.
What was next?
Next was Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black for the TNT title. I think Beth Phoenix was backstage, and she told her husband to break a leg, but
Jesus
not like
Christ,
that.
Come on, man. Damn. What the fuck?
Anyway, so he came out to some music like The Brood, and there was The Brood on the big screen. I really enjoyed the entrance. I thought it was very cool. I was like 12 years old when Edge debuted, and I was very into The Brood. And this match was pretty bonkers. He opened up Malachi right away, and they were doing all kinds of shit. Hardcore, barbed wire, cage match. Again, another reason why we didn't need that FTW match, because we had this going on as well. But at one point, Copeland climbed all the way to the top of the cage, jumped off. He would have done much better if he would have just crushed Malachi and just done like a splash and just like fell on him. I'm sure Malachi could have taken the bump. Instead, he seemed like he tried to save him by jumping and then just landing straight on his feet and giving him an elbow drop and kind of like not hitting Malachi as hard. But in the process, broke his leg. Still did a ton of spots. Delivered a bunch of spears. They went outside the cage. They did like a whole angle with the House of Black kind of swerving us. They were going to side with Copeland, and then ended up not. They ended up beating his ass. He ended up, spearing some of those guys. Gangrel comes out from under the ring, which was probably my favorite thing of the night. I thought that was so fun. And he's doing the Impaler, which is like his kind of like Death Rider, like DDT. And Edge goes over, and this was a wild match. Unfortunate that Edge, got hurt, but this was very, very fun.
What do you think, Jason?
Just the knee-jerk reaction is the Malachi Black and the House of Black are officially dead now. There's nothing that I can see them doing at this point, at least the way that TK books, that can bring them back from this point. This was the moment to at least make them feel relevant, credible, again, whatever the word you want to use. I'm not even talking about Edge getting hurt, because there's people like, oh, they should have switched, made a call on the fly. They don't do that shit. See the Acclaim not win the titles over Swerve and Argori. They just don't do that. Okay, so let's put that on the table. They should have just made Malachi Black win the fucking match. Make this guy feel somewhat important. I kind of felt like I didn't really know that Edge was hurt until it started to go on later on in the match, and I was like, well, damn, he's limping awful a lot, and there wasn't like, work being done to the leg. So I was like, why is he limping? But I agree with Zach. He should have just splashed him instead of trying to be cute and looked like the elbow.
Kind of looked like he changed
his mind halfway down.
That's what it kind of looked like to me. I did not think his leg was broken with how much of the match still took place after that. Maybe the referee had a little cortisone shot in his pocket or something. Who the fuck knows? But listen, was it a hell of a match? Yeah. Was it fun to watch? Kind of. Listen, I love that
overbooked as fuck.
I love that Zach is Zach, and I love that he's saying that he loved the Gangrel shit the most, because I know that he knows that I'm going to say, I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Oh,
like, I was not into the Gangrel thing. And they were like, and I was thinking, man, if they're going to have Edge and Gangrel go over the House of Black, basically, I was like, come on. I'm done. And now I hope they have to break up the House of Black, right?
I don't care what they do with him at this point. This is the same shit with the Righteous losing to MJF by himself. At that point, you done. You can't come back at this point.
They're going to be the Cage of Agony of Black. They're going to put them all together in the same team.
Hey, if they're breaking up, I'm calling dibs on Julia Hart.
I gotta admit,
it's jobber gumbo.
I never
take who you want.
I never really watched.
I'm rolling her.
Never really watched Gangrel era WWF. I think I was watching WCW at that time. That's like around 98, right?
Feels about right.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it. So, I didn't know what his finisher was. I didn't know if those teeth were real. They are. Like, those are implants, right?
I guess.
I mean, it's not like he's wearing. He didn't buy him in Johnny Brock's, is what I'm saying.
You just say you give me far too much credit on my wrestling knowledge. This is where I start drawing the lines.
I'm glad Gangrel got a paycheck. I am not happy. Even if Edge wouldn't have gotten hurt, that means that Edge they're giving him the Sting booking. Come on, guys.
He had to put that entire payday right onto his Spirit Halloween credit card.
God damn.
Also, not for nothing, I really don't like the spooky shit. Like, enough with the spooky shit.
Just when I thought Bill was breaking kayfabe,
Nah.
Zach jumps in with full dick. With full dick.
In hand, ready to roll. I don't mind the spooky shit, just this wasn't
What
the
was
time.
spooky about it, though? It wasn't even spooky.
He
It was
came
just a
from
guy coming
the
up
bottom of the ring.
That's only like he didn't like pull him down under and like do like the Undertaker thing.
Zach,
come on,
he's
man.
got
He was just a guy
fangs.
that came from underneath the ring.
Zach,
He just had an unconventional way of coming out. He went through the
died on the
canvas
field.
instead of.
he was wearing fangs and he came out from underneath the ring. He's wearing fangs.
That's not spooky stuff. He's just a guy with fangs.
But
He
guys
died on
fangs
this
are
heel, man.
spooky.
He died on his heel. Just let him go. Okay? We can't save him.
It's not supernatural. How about that?
Fangs?
You can say it's not supernatural.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
not
They're
supernatural.
No,
humans
no,
don't
hey,
have fangs.
No,
if
Zach-
he had a
Zach
tail,
is-
it would be supernatural too.
Zach is totally right. Like, vampires are totally real people.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a vampire.
Nobody thinks he's actually a vampire. Everybody knows he's just an old guy with a pirate shirt.
So why are we having him go over the House of Black?
But
Why?
pirates dress
Because
like
they're
Dracula.
going to WWE.
Yeah.
What, you want to give them all the titles? They're fucking leaving. You
No.
job them at every opportunity. You job them every fucking week so that when they show up in WWE, they're nothing.
Are they?
That's what you do.
Are they?
He's heating up.
Then guys love Ricky Starks because at least he's not getting jobbed out on
Is
AEW
House of
TV
Black
anymore.
leaving?
God bless him.
I thought that Malachi Black had like a super long contract. I thought that
I might, but I mean, I don't know.
I thought
just
he was
assumed he's
staying
on
around.
WWE.
I thought I read he was hurt and they tacked on the injury time to the end of the contract. He's going to be there for another year. If that's the case, what the fuck?
Am I to infer from this, Zach, that you were cool with Edge going over?
Yeah, I was fine with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Like, you guys laugh at stuff that's not jokes.
Now, Stevie Wonder can
That's
see he was
a
good with
serious
it.
question.
Shut up, bitches.
The only
else can
House
see
of
your
Black guy
face,
that I would
so we
keep
know you're full of
strong
shit.
is I don't know what his contract status is, but the only guy I would keep strong because he's over with the fans too, and is Brody King. I'm not 100% certain that he's going back to WWE, but like, you know, Malachi, both their spouses are there. I'm sure with Hunter, he liked both of those guys. I'm sure that they're just counting the days until they can go get a job and be on WWE again, because the guy that was not booking them correctly is
I
not there anymore.
also want to say this about Buddy Matthews, is that Buddy Matthews is like, he's not being booked to his strengths. Like, Buddy Matthews could be a wild fucking babyface. He's got a real fucking babyface moveset. He looks incredible. He's handsome. He could definitely be a huge babyface. He's been miscast for this entire run. He does the most with it. He fucking rules.
I'm not going to disagree with that part. I don't think he's missed. I think they all have been just poorly booked across the board. House of Black hit their ceiling when they won the trios titles. If you'd have told me that when they first, this is as far as they're going. If you'd have told me that when they first got together, I'd have lost. No way. It's way too many options for them guys to just be trios champions, and that's it.
So if they leave AEW to go to WWE, they would leave a job to take another job to continue the job.
That's right.
You ain't shit. God damn you.
What was next? This podcast is going to be 3 hours long.
Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné. This was probably the second best match of the night, I'd say. Yeah. I was not necessarily. I was cautiously optimistic about this match, but it's been like a full year since we've seen Mercedes wrestle. She's a very good in-ring wrestler, and Willow's a very good wrestler. She's got a ton of charisma. Obviously, Mercedes is charismatic when she's not cutting a promo as well.
Damn.
And man, they went out there and just destroyed it. Just a lot of fun. Worked it very smartly. They worked really hard. It was never like a situation where like Mercedes is like going toe to toe like for power with Willow. They were like, she was, basically undercutting her. She wasn't outpowering her because she was getting in a bunch of offense, sneaky offense, working her legs. It was all really good stuff. But she ended up hitting her. The worst part about it was the finish, because her finish fucking sucks. She needs a new finish. I hate that finish. It never looks good. I think it's looked good like twice that I've ever seen it. And and then there was another like big angle. So not only did Mercedes win the title, but then we did the Chris Statlander turn on Willow. So again, just a lot of angles here. But what'd you guys think?
I'm with you on probably the second best match of the night. I'm a big Willow Nightingale fan. But I was rooting for her because this was my crazy pick. I picked Willow Nightingale. It seemed pretty clear with about 3 minutes left. I was like, she's not going over. But, yeah, I love this match. I completely missed the angle, so when I saw it on Dynamite, I was like, what are they talking about? Because when the match was over, I went and did something else, or I fast-forwarded it 5 or 6 minutes. I was like, surely they're not going to do another angle here, right? But little did I know.
Surprise, nigga!
What'd you think of it, Jason?
The match I thought was good. I was with Zach on this one. I was kind of on this edge of my seat just to start because we haven't seen Mercedes in a while, and I think, at least personally, that was part of the reason why I wasn't really invested into the match until it started to get physical in the ring where Mercedes was taking bumps. So I was like, okay, we got that check mark out of the ring, check mark out of the way. Big versus little always kind of works with Mercedes because obviously she's on the small side and she's done this plenty of times with WWE. I'm not going to call her the GOAT of women's wrestling. I think that's just her being, healing it up a little bit. But I think her talent does translate. So, I mean, you're having her have good matches with not just people in AEW, but WWE, Stephanie Van Kier from CMLL. So, I mean, it's just, to me, adding to what I kind of already knew, that she's a really good in-ring performer. The heel turn, I'm not going to say I'm surprised because I was always, I set it up to this to a certain point until Chris Statlander disappeared. She's been causing some shit, but just, not been in the middle of it. Now, finally, her turning on Willow, I don't have a problem with that. At least it's intriguing. Stokely is a great mouthpiece. We saw that on Wednesday night a couple of different times. And then obviously for me personally, keeping Willow as a babyface is the most important thing. So now, obviously, you probably have Willow and Chris Statlander feud at that point. We'll figure out Mercedes' next opponent somewhere down the line. But I thought the match, met expectations because they weren't high, but I was just generally concerned about how Mercedes was going to look. No problems with Willow at this point. I think Willow is at least past the eye test with me that she's a good in-ring performer and you can throw her in the ring with anybody for the most part, and she should be able to get a good match.
Yeah, interesting that they put her with Sky Blue on Wednesday. Because, she was clearly the heel in this match, and then she's like the babyface in that one.
Yeah.
And they also didn't even advertise her first televised match.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Yeah, they just kind of did it. So, kind of interesting, but. The other second of the three main events was Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Title. Swerve had a fun entrance, inspired by the Warriors. and this was
Not so good.
yeah, this was a lot of fuckery. Just very much what you would expect from the patriarchy, but they had a very kind of methodical approach. This was, kind of like a big main event, but with a lot of smoke and mirrors, because Christian, you can just tell you his fingerprints were kind of all over this one as far as like putting the match together and like kind of the pace and everything like that. Ended up being fantastic, even though there was like no intrigue, like we were talking about, like Christian's not going to win this. He did get the crowd to get them to think that he was going to win it, at least once, which is pretty cool. But yeah, all kinds of fuckery. They ejected the patriarchy, but ended up Swerve overcame, Swerve stomp, house call, pins Christian Cage. No big surprises, but a very fun main event.
Yeah, again, this match would have been a lot better if it hadn't been after a bunch of other matches that had a bunch of fuckery. I mean, bottom line, Christian's great, Swerve is great. It's a nice championship defense under his belt.
So I'll ask it: who's had the better title run so far? Both the short, both have got not really off the ground, but I think it can be asked at least so far early. Who's had the better title run, Cody or Swerve?
Cody.
Yeah, I'd say Cody pretty handily.
Are we worried about Swerve? Because now, obviously, with Will Ospreay on deck, this is a definite fork in the road for Swerve early in his title reign.
I'm not worried about him, because even if he lost the belt, I wouldn't be worried about him. He's still a star.
Yeah, today, May 30th, 2024, I say that they should have Swerve win that match.
I'm leaning towards with Bill on this one. If there's a match, the first match that Ospreay has to lose, I don't think it's a bad thing to lose to the current world champion. I wouldn't be opposed to a tie, or a draw, better choice of words. That way both guys kind of, we get the match. And
ooh, that's interesting. Zach, would you be okay with a draw?
Totally. Yeah, not only would it be a banger match, I'd say the only negative, it is interesting they had Ospreay win that gauntlet, because now that's the challenger for Forbidden Door. And we also had the announcement, which we didn't mention, that was on the pre-show, that Martha Hart came out, and the winner of the Owen Hart tournament is going to be, for men and women, is going to wrestle for the title at Wembley.
Love it.
Assumption,
Love it.
yeah, which was really cool.
should have did it
So my
last year.
assumption was that Ospreay was going to challenge for the title at Wembley, because that just makes a ton of sense. Him holding the title and wrestling a challenger also makes sense, but it doesn't seem as like historic as him like winning at Wembley. That seems like a much bigger deal. But if he loses to Swerve at Forbidden Door, which would also, it'd be fine. It'd not be in the world for anybody. How do you get him into that Owen Hart thing? I feel like the Owen Hart Cup would either have been announced or started, and if he is already the number one contender from winning this gauntlet match, how do you justify him also being in the Owen Hart tournament? Or maybe are they going to maybe somebody can put their title shot on the line,
right,
and he can win that? It makes it interesting that it was interesting that he won on Wednesday and that he's now the number one contender now.
It is interesting. It is interesting, and it doesn't sound to me like you're criticizing it. You're asking a bunch of fair questions. And I think that him winning the Owen Hart tournament would make sense also, but it's like, how's he going to do that if he's fighting for the belt? But I'm not going to complain about them putting Will Ospreay as the number one contender this soon. This is what we asked of them to do. It's like, okay, you got the magic fucking lamp. Now fucking rub it.
Yep.
let him work for you. So I'm not going to complain about that. But everything that you asked is making me think about it in a way that I wasn't thinking about it before, because I forgot about the Owen Hart angle. Or the Owen Hart, not angle, he passed away a long time ago, but the Owen Hart tournament angle.
Right.
Like, what it sounds to me is all Bill wants is just swerve in the glory. Just take a minute and just swerve in the glory.
Well played, sir.
They should have Keith Lee come out and interfere on behalf of Swerve.
Stop.
Not even interfere. Not even interfere. Just walk out there with Prisnana on his shoulders, like a little kid at the zoo.
Yeah, right.
And they're just fucking swerving while they drive.
I'm not disagreeing with any.
Nana's wearing a propeller on his hat.
He got one of the beanies. He just feeding him Cheerios.
Nah, man, I was about to say, Nana's bigger than that now at this point. I was about to say, we need to treat that man with respect that he deserves.
He's shorter than you.
True story.
Osprey's going to miss the house cutter because he slips on a zebra cake that he's placed on the
He's
mat.
heating up.
I'm just writing down the jokes from now on.
Because he doesn't know how to do it from his knees.
Zebra cakes. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, man, there was like fucking 10 killer jokes last night. I don't remember a single one.
Yeah, I got to go back.
I don't ever remember anything either.
Okay, and then what was next? Or last?
Next was Anarchy in the Arena. And, not a ton to say about this. I'm not going to run it all down, but it was Jack Perry, Okada, and the Bucks versus FTR, Bryan Danielson, and Darby Allin. Lots of crazy shit. They were playing the Bucks music, and then Danielson told them to stop and have to play the best theme song in wrestling history. And so they played the final countdown until Matthew told them to stop because it cost them $200,000 every time it restarted, and they're on a budget, for God's sake.
Oh, man. I was like,
really
that's
good.
good. Yeah, I was like, well played.
It's an extremely
But,
funny joke.
yeah, it was great. And, yeah, there was some stuff with a vehicle that seemed kind of confusing in the back. Allen and Perry were fighting, and at one point he is drowning him in water, which was just a cover for whenever Jack Perry came out looking all wet because he was covered in fire retardants because he was then set on fire with the flamethrower by Darby, which was probably the craziest thing in the match. I'd say, yeah, it was the craziest thing in the match.
Yeah,
And,
motherfucker. Yeah.
Just like this podcast, it was lit.
It's,
Yeah, I
But
would
yeah,
say
I mean,
that's it.
there was an exploding chair. The Bucks had their new shoes that you can buy at Champ Sports, covered in thumbtacks.
Dude, stop being a mark for the Bucks. They're not giving you anybody. Just stop it.
how do we know?
I mean, I think the shoes are sold out.
Speaking about being on your knees, here goes Zach talking about the Bucks.
Listen,
Love you, Zach.
I'm with them these days. I think that they're the greatest tag team of all time too. I'm with them. Listen,
He converted.
Look at him all proud of himself.
the flamethrower spot is some Tony Khan cokehead booking. Sometimes you got to say no to these guys.
I'm sort of thinking to myself, no, it's not happening. No, he's not going to do that shit. Oh, he's doing this shit.
Probably seems a lot cooler. Probably seems a lot cooler on paper. That's all I'll say. I like this match. We all picked the Elite. The Elite went over. It was at the end of a long night of a bunch of matches like this. It really was it was overkill. It was the pay-per-view was kind of an overbooked mess.
I didn't necessarily mind the way this match was finished because Darby was the guy that was the one weak link. Everybody took their fair share of damage or whatever the case may be, but Darby was clearly the one coming in not at 100%, and they took advantage of it. The fact that they had him hanging up, upside down, they were basically, like, hey, don't forget about Darby. He could die up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, please help Darby.
Yeah, okay. That, to me, that shows how much of a sympathetic figure he was to me throughout the match.
Account.
Yeah, right. So I mean, to me, I don't have a problem with the match itself was going to be overbooked. You knew what we were going to get into. The flamethrower, I'll say this, for as much wrestling as I've seen and as much wrestling as I've probably forgotten in my life, that to me has got to been one of the craziest fucking spots where I was like, what the fuck? They're really getting ready to do this shit? Oh, yep, he's doing it.
We should have known as soon as he brought the flamethrower out on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
It was going to get used. You don't do it unless you use it. So at that point, you stay true to wrestling.
I'll say this. There's a lot of shit in wrestling, a lot of bumps I wouldn't take. You could cover my legs with fire retardant stuff and shoot a flamethrower at me. I would take that bump. That was so safe that there was no chance anything was going to go. You could do it to me right now.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bill, I have known you for 80% of your life. That would never fucking happen.
I would completely let professionals do that.
Jack Perry ain't no professional.
Yeah, but
bullshit.
Yeah, but
bullshit.
No, that's 100%
bullshit.
true.
Bullshit.
I bet Zach agrees with me.
No,
wait, hang on.
Zach,
as long as I had the best tag team in the world with a couple of fire extinguishers.
He's eating up.
God, and we hadn't even started talking about you jerking off yet.
All right, so grade the pay-per-view, Jason.
Oh, shit. I wasn't a huge fan of it coming into it, and now you guys I think you guys talked me down a letter grade, at least a point. I'm going C-. I was saying C before I walked in. Now I'm saying C-.
It was a B.
Whoa.
It was overall a good show, but it was just a little long. It was fine, like, whenever there was, 4 or 5 AEW pay-per-views a year, and you give us a 5-hour show, and they were all, kind of really super meaningful, banger matches, it was a little different. This felt just a little long, a little overbooked, so, but it was still fun.
Listen, my initial reaction is to say D+, but it was a pay-per-view that had a Will Ospreay match on it, so it can't be a Will Ospreay 2024 match versus Roderick Strong. Bumps it up. I'm going C-. I think that maybe it's the worst AEW pay-per-view they've ever had.
Wow. No, I was getting ready to say towards the end of last year, I think they kind of had a couple of stinkers. I don't think this is the worst. It's not the best. It's somewhere in the middle. After coming after Dynasty, and I'm not saying it because it was in the loo, but Dynasty was a high watermark, at least for AEW this year. This wasn't nearly as intriguing, not as nearly as good in the ring as Dynasty was.
All right, that's going to do it for our 2 count. Let's get to that 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
So NXT had 2 very interesting developments Tuesday night. I'm not going to go through all of NXT, but I am going to talk about Roxanne Perez comes out and cuts her heel promo, says she wants to find out who she's fighting at the next Premium Live event. I forget. It's in 2 weeks, but I forget what it's called.
Battleground.
Thank you. So Jordynne Grace, your TNA Knockouts champion, walks out. She was in the Royal Rumble this year in January, but she walks out with her TNA Knockouts belt, and she is going to be the #1 challenger for Roxanne Perez. This is very newsworthy, extremely rare, pretty unheard of in WWE. Can't remember the last time somebody just we've had him in the Rumble, but we've never had a wrestler from another promotion, since it's been WWE at least, come over still representing their promotion on WWE television. Kind of amazing. Zach, what did you think about it?
Yeah, super surprising, and definitely a moment, kind of a paradigm shift for WWE and how they approach business. Pretty wild. Really really intrigued here. Also, I imagine I did see that Jordynne Grace, for her title, has an open challenge out there. So, assuming we're going to get somebody from WWE or NXT to go over there, if I had to guess, it'd probably be somebody like a Natalia that can go over there, have a little star power, somebody can lose.
Jason, what did you think about this?
Jordynne Grace was on radio this morning when I was on the way to work, and it was talking about the setup to the match, how neither one of them knew who the opponent was. Roxanne cuts her promo talking about how NXT is the best women's wrestling in all of professional wrestling, and WWE usually doesn't talk like that. They talk about, their bubble, their world, because nobody else exists. So kind of hearing that was, at least my ears kind of perked up, because in my head I was like, TNA has always been, at least in my head, really, really good, just nobody really watches the shit. Then all of a sudden, her music hits, I'm like, bro, oh, this is happening. Jordynne Grace used the word partnership at some point when she discussed TNA and WWE. And I think that's important, because I don't know if she left the cat out of the bag or not, but I think that word being used, at least in my mind, means that this is not going to be a short-term thing. This ain't going to be a one-off. This is going to be something that they're going to go hand in hand, at least NXT and TNA going hand in hand going forward. That makes me feel like NXT could be the third brand that we talked about many, many moons ago, that it never really happened when NXT was the black and gold and they were really hot, and we were thinking that would be the third brand. I think that was
TNA's the third brand.
It's going to be now. That was right around the time with Survivor Series. You had NXT versus WWE, or NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown.
Are we okay? So then later on,
many possibilities.
Ethan Page shows up. Ethan Page was just recently in AEW, and Vic Joseph called it. Vic Joseph, right?
Yes.
Vic Joseph, he said, wasn't he just in AE, and then they cut off, which is wild. But Ethan Page also probably best known for his run in TNA. He shows up at the end of NXT also. Zach, is it possible that we are getting like a TNA NXT partnership where we could get NXT versus TNA matches? Can we have a forbidden door? Are we looking at that, Zach?
I think so. I don't know if they'll do like a full-on pay-per-view or anything, but I think talent exchange, kind of similar. Last time we actually saw this with WWE was, ECW. Heyman would do it, and those guys would come on. So at least that's what I remember. They would do some
but
stuff.
That was
with,
when WWE owned ECW, though.
No, before that.
They did?
Yeah, in the 90s, 96-ish, there'd be ECW stars on WWF. And Heyman would go to Vince for money because he was, always behind on stuff like that. And they would do like some partnership. Heyman really kind of helped pioneer a lot of the Attitude Era just through ECW before they were really, before he bought it. So, anyway, it is not something they've done for ever and ever and ever. But I do see more of this. I know Nick Khan has said he was open to partnerships. They're also going to be working with Marigold, which is Rossi Ogawa's promotion. So they're going to be, I imagine they'll send like a Kairi Sane or, maybe even like a Tiffany Stratton or something over there to be working Japan, which would be great for all parties.
Jason, is this what AJ Styles was talking about the other night when he went up to Nick Aldis and was like he wants one more chance at a championship, and Aldis said you gotta get to the back of the line? Could we see AJ Styles challenge for the TNA championship? Could he fight Moose?
What's AJ Styles doing in the Impact Zone?
Wow. I I can't. I want to say he's wrong, but I mean, I guess I'm answering his initial question. Is this a forbidden door? Yeah.
Well, the Jordynne Grace thing, definitely. I mean, it's just a fact.
I think it's going to swing, stay open, whatever word you want to use in the sentence. WWE doesn't do things, by happenstance. They do things for a reason. Now, if Jordynne Grace is going to be TNA champion by the time she meets Roxanne, fucking great. Even better for TNA. I hope that is the case. But they don't do this without a reason. And I think the long-term goal, because they both are basically kind of set up the same way. You have a world champion, you got a women's world champion, you got tag team champions, men's and women's, and then you have a mid-card title or two somewhere in the middle. It's really set up for at least NXT.
Well, it'd be fun to see like Ricochet in like an X Division match or something.
There you go.
Montez Ford.
There you go. So
do something with Cedric Alexander.
Ricochet jobbing.
God, don't say that.
Champion Ricochet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of
Right.
real. The possibilities really just stand out there. They could be amazing. Ethan Page coming back. To me, I'll just say this: there is nothing that he can do on NXT that can be any worse than what he's done on AEW. The sky is pointed up. Right away, it's pointed up. I don't care what happens from this point on.
So, anything else to say about that, Zach?
No, it is pretty wild. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Excited to see where it goes. Kenny Omega was just TNA champ not that long ago. So, I mean, it's just a wild time in wrestling. That's going to do it for our 3 count.
1, 2,
The good old days.
I do want to say that the scores are Jason and Bill are now tied at 87, and Zach makes a point up, and he is at 84. So I am clinging to that lead. I'm in first, Jason's in second.
How the fuck does that happen? I'm the defending champ. How does that work?
So some odds and ends. We already talked a lot
You made
about
wrong picks. That's how that works.
We talked about Dynamite. I was a big fan of TV Time with Chris Jericho.
Of course
I think
you
it's
were.
funny that it's called TV Time.
I love that part.
I also think it's funny that Jack Perry drives around something that's called the Scapegoat Bus. Big fan of that.
It's like, man,
see.
no.
Moxley versus Rocky. We talked about Callis. My man Matt Menard gets some TV time. Daniel Garcia saying he's going after Ospreay's belt. I am down for a Daniel Garcia Will Ospreay match.
Shit.
How about you, Zach?
Oh, totally. And I mean, that would be pretty cool if you wanted to have Garcia win that off of Ospreay. Ospreay's already got, the title shot locked up. And then if Ospreay won, you'd have the only guy in AEW to beat him is Daniel Garcia. And you have a main event title match.
I mean,
Damn.
I would
Talk your talk, Daniel Garcia and Zach Pullman.
would
Shit.
really love it. Jason?
To me, that this was, a talk your talk moment. I mean, speak your truth. Daniel Garcia was just like, you know what? And I love the fact that he was just like, I don't care. I don't care. I want to win this title. And that at least makes the title feel important, and it makes the match that hopefully will come up against Will Ospreay feel like a match that you really want to see.
Did it feel like Christopher Daniels was doing an Adam Pearce impression tonight or last night?
Little bit. I was like, dude, I don't need a middleman. God damn it. Just name a commissioner. I don't care. Stop.
No,
Really?
Zach, what'd you think?
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, Christopher Daniels comes out to the Elite, and he said that he has been made the interim executive vice president, that Kenny Omega's out, so he has some power to wield towards the Young Bucks. We have the gauntlet match, which was Jay White, Pac, Mystico, Will Ospreay, Shota Umino. When he came out, I was like, oh, because I know it was for the Forbidden Door match. I was like, oh, Shota versus Swerve would have been fucking really cool.
Not saying it should have happened, but yeah.
Leo Rush gets a little bit of rub. He had a good showing. Orange Cassidy and Hechicero. This was what it was. It was very enjoyable to watch. I was really rooting for Shota Umino right when he came out. I was like, oh, fuck, yes, make him win.
Yeah, right.
What you think of it, Jason?
No, the only thing I was asking for was just to have, a representation of, New Japan, CMLL, whoever else you wanted to throw out there. I just didn't want to see a lot of AEW talent. And when I say AEW, I mean AEW and ROH. So, I mean, don't be throwing somebody that, I haven't seen in a hot minute. Kyle Fletcher is the guy that I immediately think of because he's the guy that unfortunately has jumped out of nowhere and, he's the TV champion but loses on TV. So I didn't want to see that. Now you thrown in Jeff Cobb out of nowhere. Okay, now you're talking. Shota Umino is a nice little, Leo Rush, guys along those lines, Mystico. So in that scenario, okay. To me, like I said, I was surprised that Ospreay was even in the match and much less winning the match.
Zach, what do you think about Stephanie Vacour coming out to challenge Mercedes Moné for her title at Forbidden Door?
That seems cool. I don't really know her, or I don't think I've ever seen her wrestle, but I've heard she's good. So that's pretty neat. Forbidden Door should be a lot of fun. I loved that gauntlet match. I thought it was excellent. I forgot all about Hechicero because there's so many guys in AEW, and I was like, oh man, he came out, and that was super fun. I also think that is such a fantastic concept for a match. First time I ever heard about it, I'm like, that's weird. Like, so guys just come out whenever, and they could theoretically never end. We just don't know like what's going to happen, and then in practice, it works really well.
I didn't think I would like it at first, but then as, the match kind of went along or whatever, you had guys that, I hadn't seen in a while, but, it could end at any moment. I was like, okay, this is cool. I can deal with that. If I'm not mistaken, and, I'm sure somebody will call me out on this, but I believe Stephanie Vacour and Mercedes Moné were set to wrestle, and Mercedes got hurt. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they were supposed to wrestle and they didn't, or they did wrestle and I can't remember the finish. I think it was the former, but don't necessarily quote me on that. The third point I was trying to remember and I can't think of what it was. I think it was still like basically around Forbidden Door where Bill was talking about, Shota Umino versus Swerve being a potential match. But I think that's, CMLL, like I said, there'll be another, I would like to think another component into, the Forbidden Door match. And hopefully it's not like an 8-man tag or whatever. Hechicero, we hadn't seen him since they were feuding like with, CMLL and Blackpool Combat Club. That felt like that was getting ready to pop off, and it never really did. So that's, at least in my head, that's might be a reason why we haven't seen a lot of those guys. But it'd be nice to see some of them in singles, maybe tag action on the Forbidden Door card. We'll see.
Man from Ringside.
I just knocked my glasses off the fucking deck.
Well, at least they went in the grass, motherfucker.
God damn it. There's rocks down there. What you think about Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre having their little powwow to start off Raw? What you think of this, Jason?
Ludwig Kaiser's starting to separate from Gunther, which I think is, a pretty smart move. Gunther's over. I don't think, Imperium's not even a thing anymore. Ludwig kind of separating himself, smart move. Gunther allowing himself to back away as, Drew and Damian Priest, beefing about who's going to be champion next. It was a really good angle. I would be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued, because every time I was like, ooh, somebody else would come out, and then, they would start doing the connective weaving and shit. So that was good.
Zach.
Yeah, it's ton of fun. I love that after Drew came out, Gunther's just like, I'll just let you guys do this. Really looking forward to Clash at the Castle, though.
Oh, yeah.
I must bid you jokers adieu.
That's going to be a match. They need to put McIntyre over. Stone Cold Lead Pipe Block of the Week. Zach, have you ever had a 400 pound?
No. You said it. You heard it right. Yep. Okay, thank you.
Zach, have you ever had a 400-pound man chase you for the entirety of Raw?
Unfortunately, no.
Hold on. But have you had that man chase you and you didn't pay for it?
Braun Strowman chases JD McDonough for the entirety of Raw. I mean, this is some real Looney Tunes type shit, man. And to have it come out and affect the main event is pretty silly. Jason, how big of a fan?
That's Vince McMahon shit.
Motherfucker, I hate you.
I almost think it's too sophisticated for Vince McMahon.
The only reason,
you've been chasing him around to fart on him or something.
I was just gonna say that he would been farting the whole
time. God bless Vince.
The farts would back him off. He would fart and he would stop, and they would take a breath, and then they'd run again.
I agree with 3-Beer on this one. It felt a lot of, especially when they started to do it segment after segment. I was like, okay, this feels like a throwback to Vince's Raw. The only thing I felt, at least for me, that was different is like Bill said, the chase affected the title match. And that's why I was like, okay, as much as I didn't like it, Liv still not winning Queen is a part of the story. Liv retaining is what was supposed to happen. We don't know if Becky Lynch is going to go bye-bye or not. I think that all of that was, the way they finished it, okay, fine. I didn't like anything up to that point.
They are really winding up this Alpha Academy Otis flipping on Chad Gable thing. I cannot
and the
believe
Creed's coming out to help Chad Gable.
I cannot believe they haven't pulled the trigger on this breakup though yet.
Perfect. Take your time.
Zach, you cool with it?
Yeah, it will get to a point where, I expect it to happen imminently. I almost expected it Monday. I was really expecting it Monday. So
they just planted the seed on Monday.
Well, the seeds have been planted for a long
time.
No.
Like more so, at least for me, more so they planted the seed is like how the Creeds lost. It was fairly one-sided.
This is how you know this is a hot product, though, is because this crowd is ready for Otis to turn on Gable.
Oh, yeah.
It is heat given from Gunther to fucking Sammy to Chad Gable to Otis. This is the way you do it. You book it from the top down, but you let the lower card, you let them cook, you let them feed off of it a little bit. This is really good shit. I want to see Otis turn on him.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You know what I mean? So I liked it quite a bit. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was it looks like Karrion Kross is only going after Xavier Woods. Karrion Kross had some pretty mean things to say about Kofi Kingston. What you think of it, Zach? Didn't make your Hulu version?
No, I really don't think it did. But, I do think it's funny that Karrion Kross, it seemed like recruiting Xavier Woods. I don't know, the whole idea that Kofi's washed up or whatever. Not that old. Kofi Mania was I don't know, not that long ago.
It's a little silly. It's a weird thing for those two teams to be working together.
I was getting ready to say, what you think about it? It's about to say you the president of the Xavier Wood fan club of BFR.
Well, do something with them. If you're going to have them on TV all the time, do something with them that's not just, the New Day have been stagnant. Now, I know that they sell a ton of merch, and I know that they are big stars, and they don't want to turn them heel because Xavier Woods is a big fucking star with people that I don't share a demographic with. But at least do something. At least do something with them. At least do something with them. I don't think they're going to, though. I don't think that I cannot see Xavier Woods turning heel.
I think what Bill is trying to say, and I'm not going to speak for him, but he just wants Xavier Woods to have a new day.
I mean, I really do. I really do. And hopefully it's the final testament of his career.
Oh, my God. No.
Love it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
You should be.
It does
Sorry
result in
about
a
that
three-way match on Pornhub.
It looks like we may be getting a Sheamus Ludwig Kaiser singles feud, which excites me quite a bit. What you think about it, Jason?
No, this is what I was kind of saying. Ludwig's been kind of calling Sheamus out. Not even kind of been calling Sheamus out since Sheamus lost in the King of the Ring to Gunther in the first round. So it was nicely built up. Sheamus came back, and then they fought in the back. Spilled out to the front, whatever the case may be. Sheamus is at this point in his career where it's basically the Intercontinental Championship or bust. This is it. So at least, even if he being Ludwig Kaiser loses this feud, it should at least elevate him in the sense that Sheamus is stiff and he's going to make Ludwig Kaiser work hard. And God forbid if he doesn't go over, it'll be even better for Ludwig.
And one last thing, Zach, before we're running out of computer battery, but do you love what they're doing with Braun? Oh, you got the charger. Do you love what you're doing with what they're doing with Braun Breaker?
Oh yeah. They are doing a great job. He is my pick for Money in the Bank, my early pick.
I would fucking love that. That would be awesome.
Holy shit.
Haven't even considered it. That would be fucking awesome.
Tiffany Stratton and Braun Breaker. I'm
Yeah,
with that.
There you go. That's the new crew.
Man from Ringside.
Hey, everybody, we got some birthdays this week. Jake the Snake Roberts is 69 years old. No way, Jose.
No way. Jose. No way.
36.
Jose.
Montez Ford is 34. James Storm is 47. AJ Styles looking just incredible at 47. I cannot believe that AJ Styles is 47. Lex Luger is 66. I can believe that one.
Stop.
Check this one out. Check this one out. Velvet Sky is 40. Do your thing, Velvet Sky.
Yeah,
I'm fine. Me.
Scorpio's sister.
Oh my God. Gorilla Monsoon only would have been 87. Kind of crazy to me. Riho would have been 27.
What is this?
Or is 27.
Tell him.
Right?
Tell him.
You ain't shit.
Riho is 27 years old. Hey, everybody, if you, wherever you get your podcasts, go ahead and give us 5 stars. We know there's a ton of podcasts to listen to, so we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. For Dinder Mahal, for
Check.
Murray the Murray Man Murray, for
Check.
Richard Chris, for Patriot
Check.
Matt, for Brett Jagger,
Check.
for Bo,
Check.
for Two Beer Zach, for
Check.
Jason Cornelius Bell,
Konnichiwa,
I am
bitches.
Bill Vagey,
Check.
Black Lives Matter,
Check.
support your local restaurants,
Check.
support your local weed dealers,
Double
give
check.
your parents a call, and
Triple
never forget to boo the heels.
Ooh, bitch.
Shut up, bitches.